Hi guys, welcome back to another.
Okay. Mimi naangalia hapa na ngoja hapo. Okay, sawa.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the LK podcast. I'm your host Chengo.
And I'm Lynette. Gosh, simnaona venye ni mrembo. Ameni outshine leo. Mimi nakalika nimevaa pajamas but it's okay.
What can I say? It's God's grace.
Wewe sawa basi.
Nakunywa maji mengi.
Mtoto ajui hapa sisa ajui.
Ajui shisha ajui Milan.
By then nimekuwa nikiwatch Kabam of late. I'm like, yani unaona zile vitu zikupea small pockets of joy.
Kabam nilifika second episode because like it's Baby Tita Sindio, the one with the politician at the
But anyway, kama hujawatch Kabam, hatujalipo kufanya hii. Nenda ukawatch, it's fine. Yeah. Hapo ni utaona hiyo scene ya DJ Shiti akisema mtoto ajui kuiva ajui
Milan.
Kama hujaijua mimi nitoka wapi? Habari ndio hiyo. So today we're gonna do unaita nini? Kuna jina nimesikia mkitaja na
it's like just a pop quiz but on female issues that we are facing in Kenya.
US, Kenya.
And just our general opinion. Our answers do not reflect.
They are not reflective of this podcast. If you feel like they are getting to you, JK, thank you.
You're welcome to have your opinion.
But not in the comments. You can comment hapo chini, but usilete mi sipendi watu. Tulisema we open to criticism, lakini usikue very negative. At least kwa na kitu. Sema hata Kaptai was dressed well but the topic was not good. Like kitu kama hiyo. Usikue all negative. Hiyo ndio the bad energy tunajaribu hapa kutoa maroho na
we are women, we empower women.
You are a girls na uko hapo chini ukibodishe mtu tunakuona.
Anyway,
tuko na mrembo pale nyuma,
hamuoni but mtasikia sauti.
Siku moja tutaita watu
tunaweka huko nyuma muone.
But ni wanapenda sauti zao zikisikika but si uso sana.
We'll let you be the judge. Mseme kama ni kutoa nyoka pangoni
ama ni kuingia.
Ama naweza kuongea kidogo. Ndio kuingia kwangu. We'll let you decide.
Okay.
Number 1. What are some of the reasons survivors of rape in Kenya hesitate to report, and what can be done to make justice more accessible and survivor friendly?
Why they hesitate to report?
Yeah.
And what can
be done to make it more
justice more accessible and survivor friendly?
I think we can start with the first part.
Shame.
The question. Shame. Yeah.
That's where a lot of rape survivors are reluctant to. And it's so sad that you feel shame and not the rapist.
And it's shame from you, wewe mwenye unapitia shame, and then if it's a family member umeenda kambia mamako pia napata shame, juu hataki watu wanje wajue ni nini inaendeleanga kwenu. So shame,
and when you go to report you are being shamed, but also there's shame that you feel yourself, you feel dirty in your own body, you feel like you cannot be comfortable. And even now seeing somebody like Josie Kiongililo after the rape incident that happened during Mandamano, somebody was saying, first of all, they have violated your body. Alafu unajua like after umefanya like such an injustice unataka like uende ujiscrub hata usitoke bafu, but now you can't, juu lazima ukienda police station ufanywe test. No, you don't even have to stay like in that dirtiness. Unajua kuna ile dirtiness ya mind, bado kuna ile nje. At least ukitoa nje unabaki usha deal na moja, umebaki na moja ya kutaka kwa akili. But now you have been denied both because now you have first to go ufanywe test. So kuna hiyo shame yenye umejekea wewe mwenyewe. Kuna shame like those around you, they are feeling that them feeling it, and they are supposed like to affirm you. It indirectly imposes another shame on you when you go to report and they start asking questions like where were you, what were you. It's another shame that's being imposed on you, and I feel like that's the major reason a lot of victims of rape don't go to report. What can be done?
So to me centralize on shame. Is
there another reason?
I don't think there is also,
especially I feel pia shame inakujanga kwa vitu kama, especially sema kana kwa nimeenda Dunda najua tulikuwa tunakata like the situation I was in. It's not a reason to justify why I was raped, but I know like the society will use like those moral grounds against me. So
So
majority pays the society, the norms we've had, the stories we've had, the society has put around rape pia inafanya like a lot of people wasiende ku report cause imekwa as it's the fault of the person being raped, the thing you are doing at the moment where you are. So imagine nimetoka Dunda 12 ama 1 usiku na society as a woman already.
Yeah.
I feel so whatever the society, the stories and the is being put around rape, it's also like a huge. So I think as a society.
So the circumstances are more, people centralize more on the circumstance that you are in and like the act that happened to you.
And I feel like and your story ya shame inakuja also because of society. I feel like society ingekuwa ineka rape as something to be shamed about, singekuwa nasikia shame. Kama ingekuanga ukirepiwa, ingekuwa kitu kama nimebondwa na gari, so mwenye amekubonda ndo ananiniwa. If that ndo ingekuwa like the story from before, shame ingekuanga.
So what can be done? One, I think creation of more.
We can change the story pia.
Yeah.
We have
creation of more like safe houses. There are a lot of organizations that are coming up. There is and femicide. There is wengine wakona do I call it a Kikuyu name? I'm not quite sure, but they're called Wali Kanja Foundation. There's also Sikimie. There's also one called the Feminist Code. All these organizations are coming up to help. So more of that, mostly even in the rural areas, because uko pia there's a lot of cases that are coming up. So unaona kama mtu inabidi aende polisi kwenye hasaidiki na hana place ingine alternative to make the same report, inakuwa bit hard. Unajua mtu anaenda kwa safe house, nikiwa like nimekuripotia, wewe kama gender officer unaenda na make report, at least najua niko na mtu atanipigania hata kama siko hapo. So yeah, besides that, what else can be done?
And if you're not in a position like to build a safe house or something, you can donate to organizations that push for such. Another thing that can be done is introducing heavy penalties.
See, heavy penalties, ndio hata wangekuwa naambiwa should to keep it anyway. That's not, it's not in my
they should be found in public
to say that.
I feel like they should be number 1 castrated, number 2 they should be niko in public nje, they be tied somewhere and they be stoned to death. Thank you.
So but anyway, the good and bad thing about life is that it has laws we need to follow. So whoever the people assigned these cases, even in court, can you give this matter a settlement that is mostly fair to that party? Hii hapa hakuna in between,
because I can't imagine 10 years later I'm running to a person who that's crazy.
And when there's violence that ended up in murder, those families are always left with that wound of always having to attend court matters, and
even therapy is expensive.
Yeah, eventually unapata after 10 years of always consistently showing up for the matter, we up to the most that happened in 10 years. And it doesn't make up for the fact that,
especially if it's somebody in your village, after 10 years unakutana naye tena hapo soko, that's
so disgusting, by the way. So the people who are up there above with the law, mnapelekana nao. Kama ni wewe, if you're a lawyer who's been called upon to fight for the justice of somebody who has been sexually assaulted, just know that this counts as a very huge contribution to who you are also as a person and as a citizen of your country.
Yeah.
Next
question.
Why do you think femicide cases in Kenya often go unreported or unresolved? And how can we as a society shift the narrative to protect women better?
Why do we think a lot of femicide cases often go unreported? I think like from the stats that we always see that's being done, a lot of femicide cases, a lot of these GBV cases, they are performed by partners. And I feel like that's why mkishaenda nilikuwa like mara kwanza I feel like there's a very big issue with policies in Kenya. Kenya waanze kuambiwa hii mambo ya ndoa, umejaribu kuongelelea, especially kwanza kama it has been performed by a partner, be it a lover, your husband, your boyfriend. I feel so kishaambiwa anaocha nikwambia kwanza juzi niko kwa match. Obvious match zote zinachezanga either Mainan Kingangi, Gideon Ghost. So ilikuwa Gideon Ghost, ilikuwa patanisho. And this madam, sasa ni the mwanaume amepiga akisema hivyo what. Sasa the lady akasema the reason anataka kumwongelesha alikuwa anakuja akiwa mlevi. Mind you, this is the person alienda akamwambia unataka kufanya nini mimba yangu usitoe blah blah blah. Niggas. But we're not here to man-hate. We're here to address what's for the issues women are facing. So let me stay on that lane. So she's explaining angekujanga akiwa drunk akimtandika one time hadi akaumwa kifua, like the mother had to take care for her for 2 months. Alafu sina kwanga like the man apologizes, the lady labda atasema give me time tutaongea. Alafu watu Gideon Ghost tuambie watu wapige wapeane maoni. Watu wako like man inaonekana Mercy ni msichana mzuri, mpe time, lakini do your responsibility as a man. Mercy mjaribu kureconcile familia. Not even one person mentioned. Shame on that person. What do you mean alimtandika 2 months and you mnaambia Mercy I think we see the issue. I was so mad in that matter. Kidogo nipige.
Nishuke huku kuna nikasirisha na
first of all, Gideon Ghost, fuck y'all. That second, how dare you? Mercy usijaribu kurudi kwa hiyo. Chukua watoto wako, umpelekee mama yoyo mzee, mpeleke kae na mzee.
But you kweli, you see how you're saying the fact that a very large population is desensitized to the fact that they don't actually think that beating up your wife is something bad. Like that's how much a large capacity of men are desensitized to sexual assault and beating their wives. Like haoni ikiwa issue.
Actually nilikuwa nasikia story, sijui kama nimeisoma ama online, I can't remember, but nilikuwa nasema like Adi sides are caused the way like mwanaume akiongea like kuhusu like correcting
mimi na mtu ananiambia na correct ukinitoa kwetu, see we are both adults, so how do you correct children, right? You correct somebody who's below you. So if in this household we are of the same age, we are 2 adults, who are you correcting?
And the men around, they were just laughing and they're agreeing. And I feel like also pia nini wanakuanga like enablers, like women, because imagine you go like now to your home to report, alafu mama yako anakuuliza kwani ulimfanyia nini? First of all, hata yeye ulimfanyia nini?
No one has a right to hit you. That's it. And trust me, maybe let me give my own opinion. Ukitaka kulia, ukitaka kasirika, but this is it. Even if you're having a relationship right now, we are young. They say we are young. Most of us are not married. A percentage maybe, but we are young people. You see, if that person, even if amepatwa na hasira, unapata anafanya kitu yenye inafanya ushtuke, you should start second guessing yourself, start asking yourself about the character of that person, because a lot of people say, why do people always associate your true colors when you're angry? But my point is usually this: when you're happy, something has brought about the happiness. That happiness is not a character. It's not a character. Joy is what is a character. If we say Lynette is always joyful, that means even when bad things happen to her, she's always lively and joyful. But then happiness inakuanga led by something else. Thrive kwa job, niko na job poa, niko happy. So if somebody is shouting at you or maybe is trying to raise a hand towards you, ukiwa kwa hiyo relationship sahi, start calling yourself out, because there is nothing special about the person who's being hit and killed and murdered and raped. That's how it all starts. Yeah.
What was the second part of the question?
How can we as a society shift the narrative to protect women better?
I think we can empower them. First of all, it's wrong. They're not correcting you.
Yeah,
wakitaka
nobody is supposed to
and
do
like
it.
that's why we have like justice system. Mtu bibi yako ukikuja upate sijui alichoma mtoto, go report.
Yeah.
It's not your work now to kumpunish or something. First we have like first of all to educate these women who have grown seeing their mothers being beaten, like it's a norm in their society, even though kunafanyanga ukikosewa like najua lakini chance ongelea honestly, but if I think inafaa kwanza like us educating, it's not okay. It is not okay, and you can leave anytime, also by empowering women through jobs, because a lot of people also feel like they need to stay because of they simply think like money.
Yeah,
that's why like as a woman it's important to have your own money. It's important to because the about education we really need to educate.
And even besides
women.
education, I'd like to give a special message too, because nimekuwa like tumekuwa out, nimepatana na watu wanne walikuwa watoto, like tulikuwa tunacheza nao kwa watoto, and right now they're homes, they're married. So my plea would be this: ukishamaliza maternity yako, umemaliza everything, just try and put even a shop outside there. Just try and do something that makes this person see that you're actually independent. And now going back to the most recent case ya mtu kama Daddy Mato and Koku. Koku, you see, Koku was a first class engineer. That's a bright names. But then in between maybe she got carried away with motherhood, which is not bad. Everyone, you're happy when you have your kid there playing with you. But then that part of you that you neglected, you see how much she has had to now go back to having to work from an internship to now ukimaliza internship sasa ndio unaanza kufigure out every part that is left unattended of your life. Ile time unarudingi, there's a lot of work you need to do, and now the work comes in with another bulk of, you don't stop being a mother when you go to work, you have to show up. So I think the pattern I've recognized with this entire story of mtu alikuwa na kuchapa, there's some form of indecency a man gives you when they think you cannot go outside and look for your own money. Kuna kama dharau inakujanga na hiyo aspect. So mine is I usually tell girls, umelea mtoto amefika 6 months, anaweza kula chakula, go outside, go look for something. Ndio ile siku before hata afikirie like anaweza kufukuza or you will become nothing juu hayuko, he knows for a fact you can go outside, you can look for a job, you can work, you have your own money. Even though the children won't live the same high life that he used to give them, they won't sleep hungry. Hamtaka nje. Yeah. So if you kwanza mostly our age, because I know there are people we know that have children. Some of them even have 2 children. So after you're done, I know it's hard because you're tujakuwa mama.
Yeah.
So we don't
know.
Speaking
just
we don't know how easy or how hard it is to leave your child at 6 months na kwenda kutafuta job. But if you can, please do it. If you had a degree and at the verge of it you didn't finish, go finish it, because trust me, it will become essential somewhere. Yeah.
What's one women's issue in Kenya that you feel isn't talked about enough, and why do you think it's overlooked?
I think for me, this comes up in my head every time. It's the fact that a lot of people think that menstrual practices have been like kila mtu anapata hizi essentials. When you go outside there and understand the fact that people are literally sleeping with men in lodgings to get 50 shillings to buy a pad, that's how you'll understand it's such a big issue. And I usually fault our women reps. If there are people who are my enemies in this, are the women reps. Because these people, part of their job description, if we were to read it by the books, is to ensure that every young girl, mostly the teenagers who are in public school, get free pads every month. And I don't think even 10% or 5% of them do that in their counties. So, junapatanga unapata mtoto ni wa, you know, when they start menstruation it's from 12 years kwenda juu, so you find that,
and right now with the changing this season from as low as 9,
yeah,
unapata mse ashaanza a female child ashaanza menstruation yake.
So unapata mtu ana forfeit kwenda shule, aende akapatane na mtu afanye a certain job or just something to make